When it's time to choose your team, you want to pick the best.
I pick Carson Wentz.
I pick Hunter Lipke.
Where'd you come from?
I was in football just like you.
Always choose people you know and trust for your team, like your community bankers at First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck, because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
When it comes to your car, you need someone you can trust. Someone who cares about your safety, your budget, and your peace of mind. At Trusted Tire and Auto, trust is more than just a word. It's at the heart of everything we do. We're a local business, owned and operated by people who live and work in this community. And we believe that by building relationships based on trust and care, we can make our community a better place to live and drive. Trusted Tire and Auto, where trust, care, and community meet on the road.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Clean it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
And finally, Agent Smith. He's in charge of restoring your property to its original state.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
When you think about Minot High Magicians basketball and some of the greats all time, you can't have that conversation or those thoughts without the name Manson. Bart Manson, Mr. Basketball, back in 1991, helped the Magi to 2 state titles during his playing days. Of course, his dad, Gene Manson, legendary coach. The entire Manson family goes down in folklore here at Minot High School. Tonight, Bart makes his return to the Magic City, this time as the head coach of the Fargo Davies Eagles in a number 2 versus number 3 matchup in AA basketball. In North Dakota here on the PSP Network, our JV matchup still in progress here this evening, coming your way from the Magic City campus gym. Nick Hulberg along with Bryce Gutknecht on the call here tonight. We will give you some of that JV matchup right now as our pregame rolls on here. It's brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline has locations in Minot and Bismarck, 5 locations to be exact at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They've got a 15-minute drive-through oil change. You really can't beat it at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Just stay in your vehicle, watch the monitors and see what they're doing. You check your email, maybe eat your lunch. It's fantastic. Valvoline Instant Oil Change brings you the pregame show for this one here tonight, and it's one that we've had on the calendar for quite some time. I'm Nick Hulberg, joined tonight by Mr. Bryce Gutknecht here on the call. Bryce, when you've got a matchup like this, number 2 against number 3 in the state, 2 of the perennial powers right now in North Dakota high school basketball at the Class A level, and some of the best players in North Dakota, you know you're in store for a good one here tonight. What is the most intriguing factor of this matchup in your mind here in late December in this 23-24 campaign?
It'd be interesting to see. We're coming off Christmas break. These 2 teams, highly ranked in the state, highly talented across the board, so much talent. Just to see kind of how they come out. You're going to come out a little flat. Coaches maybe kind of anticipate that almost when you've had these days off and stuff. But, I mean, look at this crowd. This place is jammo tonight. Davies crowd really traveled tonight. They're super excited. East versus West, it's always just, there's something special about it, Nick.
Really is. Davies and Minot High have a little bit of a rich history against each other. State tournament appearances in the semifinals just a few years back. Minot High had the upper hand in that last showdown against Davies. It's a Davies team that's coached by Bart Manson. We mentioned him in the pregame intro tonight. 14th year as the head coach of the Davies Eagles. Mr. Basketball back in Minot, back in his playing days. He goes against Dean Winchesky tonight. Dean just reached win number 400 all time. That's not an easy feat for Dean to reach, or any coach. Bart currently sitting around 450. You look at the combined wins between Manson and Winchesky tonight. There's one thing for certain, Bryce, that we're going to look at two of the great coaches all time go head to head here in this big showdown.
That's a lot of wins, Dick. You're talking, you average around up north a little bit over 20 wins a season. You're talking about a couple guys in the 400s. Quite impressive. That's a lot of time, dedication to the game, a lot of years. It's just, I'm so excited. We've been talking about it all day. I just wanted to start, but the anticipation's been fantastic.
Got some bad news before the ball game tonight, however. Mason Clabo, the top player in North Dakota, kid that we had highlighted here tonight, is one of the best on his way right now. We'll bring it up a little bit later in the show here tonight with the graphic that is pre-built for the showdown. Mason Clabo is on track right now to become the all-time leading scorer in our state. Mason Clabo scratched from the lineup here tonight, averaging 30 points per night. How much does that change the outlook and the landscape for Fargo Davies tonight against Minot High School?
I tell you what, I've been watching this junior varsity team. They've got so much talent at the lower level. You gotta believe just the production throughout the team tonight. You can't replace, just say, hey, stick one guy in there and say, hey, you gotta go be Mason Clabo tonight. That's not realistic. Gotta come up with some type of way to replace that 30 points a game, and what he does, just being so special on the offensive end of the floor, getting to the basket, perimeter shots. He's no slouch on the defensive end as well. So let's see what Mr. Bart Manson has in store to combat that tonight. Yeah, without question. 5-0 are the Eagles. The Magi come in at 7-0. Minot's ranked number 3. Davies is ranked number 2. Let's take a look at the most recent media poll in our state. It came out yesterday, and the media are the ones that vote on these two basketball teams and their opponents inside of AA hoops. Fargo North still the number 1 team in North Dakota, according to the media and the North Dakota Sportscasters and Sports Writers Association. 12 first place votes for them. Davies had 3 first place votes. Minot had 4 in the last media poll. Century ended up with a first place vote in the last media poll. You're looking at 4 really good basketball teams. And oh, by the way, Crab Fork Central, no slouch either at 4-2. They remain inside the top 5. There's no shuffling in the boys' side this week of the teams and where they're positioned inside of our states. The other teams receiving votes, Legacy, Cheyenne, and the Bismarck High Demons, also receiving votes in the most recent poll. Girls basketball, Minot's still at number 1. A couple people in our state that think Century's number 1. 2 first place votes for the Patriots, both teams 7-0. Red Rivers at number 3. They move up a spot from number 4 last week. Davies drops down to number 4 at 4-1, and Horace remains in the number 5 spot inside of girls basketball. Legacy was the only other team to receive votes in this most recent media poll, brought to you by Ackerman S-Fold. While you take a look at the poll, time to take a look at the numbers and what we can expect in the showdown here tonight. Bryce, the JV game comes to an end. Davies 93, Minot High 70, the final score in the JV matchup. Here's the numbers presented by Ryan Family Dealerships. Browse our massive inventory online. Drive Ryan.com. Both teams are unbeaten. 12 combined wins between the two. Number 2 in the East, number 1 in the West. Both these teams are ranked inside the top 3 in North Dakota. Davies is a buzzsaw with the amount of points that they put up. 441 points per game. That's 441 points. That'd be a lot per game. But 88 is still quite a few, my friend. That's where they sit right now. Minot High averaging 76 points per game and 381 total points. Points against, Minot High averaging 52.8 that they give up per ball game. Davies only gives up 63.
This graphic was built this afternoon by Office. The X factor was Clable for the Davies Eagles. We didn't know he wasn't playing. That's even more of an X factor now on this tail of the tape here tonight. On the other side for the Magi, their home court, you mentioned it, this gym is filled up. They've got athletes. They've got guys that have won state titles before in multiple sports. This is a crew from Minot High that on this home floor with the right energy, they can be tough to beat. Does Fargo Davies have a chance without Clabo here tonight? I know that that's a bold and blunt question to ask you here, Bryce, but it really does change the whole landscape of tonight's ball game, doesn't it?
I tell you what, looking at some of those numbers, Nick, you wonder if Davies can kind of get it to this track meet style. I think Minot wants a game in perhaps about the mid-60s, whereas Davies has been playing in the 80s. It'd be interesting to see without Mr. Do-It-All, Clayball, if they can get to that, to what they've been averaging all season. I'm not sure if they can do that, but I think that they still prefer that kind of game, that track meet style. Let's get up, down the floor. Let's put some points on the board.
It's going to be a fun one. No matter who's in it tonight, when you've got Davies and Minot High rumbling, you know that you're in store for a marquee matchup, and that's what we have on a Thursday night. Merry Christmas once again. Happy New Year. A little late Christmas gift tonight. The Eagles from Davies at 5-0. The Magi from Minot at 7-0. It's 2-3 in the state in AA basketball. And tonight they rumble on the PSP network. When we come back, we'll talk to both coaches, hear their thoughts heading into the showdown. The rivalry of East and West on display here tonight.
Fire damage? Agent Fred Iyer. From burnt to unburnt. He does that.
Welcome back to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. We're now joined by the Fargo Davies head coach, former Minot High standout, Mr. Basketball from way back when, Mr. Bart Manson. First things first, happy holidays. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing really well. So it's great that you guys watch you guys, throughout the year sometimes and stuff like that. And it's been fantastic to have, we have our own with Davies Live Network, and you guys do all these Minot High games. And so pulling up these games, listen to you guys, and you guys doing a really nice job. And so appreciate your coverage again tonight. High school sports deserves it. And so thanks for everything you guys do.
Yeah, you're welcome. Talk about coming full circle as a kid. I grew up idolizing Mr. Bart Manson in your time playing for Minot High School. On that note, what's it like coming back to the Magic City and Minot High School itself for a basketball game with two of the top teams in the state?
Well, it was really weird. I didn't think much of it until we got on the bus and we started coming down here, and you turn that corner and all of a sudden you get to that Garrison Dam kind of area, and you have Totten Trail right there, the old hamburger shop that we used to stop at sometimes. And so then you start thinking about the old days and reminiscing a little bit about playing at Minot High and all those road trips to Bismarck and things like that. And this is a special place. I played a lot of basketball here in this gym, and it's great to be back in here since I've been in high school.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see what your career has gone to after your playing days. Red River, of course, at Davies now, and man, you've got a heck of a ball team. What makes you guys so special? Obviously, Mason Claypool is a special player, but you guys still have depth throughout this lineup, ranked number 2 in the state.
We do. I just think when you're trying to build a program, and Dean has done such a fantastic job here too at Minot doing that. Some of our older coaches that you have, like Dean and myself, you just maybe build it a little bit differently than other people do when they come in, because they're just, they're maybe used to their way of doing it. And Dean and I are kind of old school guys. There's not a lot of us around anymore. A lot of guys have gotten out of coaching, and and when I first started coaching, I tell this to people all the time that. You come to Minot High, and I was at Belcourt, and I'd play against, coach against Gene Manson. Then we'd go to Bismarck. It was Steve Miller and Jerry Wilson. And you go to Williston, and you had Canute, and then Rick Hedberg for a while, and Glauser at Dickinson. It was just loaded with great coaches. And so being a young coach back then, it was like, you better grow up pretty fast or you're going to be, out-coached every night. And so I think those early years for me were really special to kind of develop maybe who I wanted to be and what I needed to do as a coach. And then just growing up, watching my dad do it for a long time, kind of brought back a lot of, things that we could develop into our program and stuff like that too. And try to do things the right way to build a program.
How is Gene these days, I have to ask?
He's doing really well, he tries to creep into the gym still, quite a bit. And, all of a sudden you'll look over and he'll be on the floor work with a couple kids. And so he still loves it, and he will, definitely tell me things still, today, and, what we need to do and who played well and all that stuff. And so, he's always been a big part of my life, and it's always been a big part of our basketball family with my brothers playing here too, and my younger brother playing here also. And so, with us being such a big basketball family, I kind of get, feedback often from a lot of the Mansons that are in the house around Christmas time and such. So
I would have to guess that those are quite entertaining conversations. On to business here tonight, Coach. This East vs. West showdown features number 2, Davies, number 3, Minot High. What is it about these West Region teams that causes trouble to East Region teams in your mind on a matchup like this?
Well, I think that, for a long time, what you used to get with these crossover games that the East struggled with in some of the games was the physicality of the game, the way that the West played it to the way that the East played it. The East was more up and down the floor, and the West was built with good defensive teams and grind you through the game and things like that. And and I think kind of a little bit where now it's flip-flop a little bit, where now you see some of that coming into the Western basketball a little bit, and so their styles have changed a little bit. But the teams that like that, take for instance like Bismarck High, they never used to play the way that they're playing like right now, when Jordan first started and they developed a new style, and that's hard to play against. We played against Bismarck High, and I was glad that we got a chance to play against them, because you got to, play against it to see it, to kind of, because you can look at it on film and you have no idea until you go up against it. And so we're excited to play Minot tonight because they are long at every position. They defend really well. They score the basketball, they cut, and they play hard. And those are all things that, we really respect. And that's why they're 7-0 right now. They play hard. And in high school basketball, a lot of times when you play harder than other teams, you're going to win a lot of games. And Dean and the Minot team has done a nice job with that. His son Eric plays hard, and Conklin's have a really nice year right now. I like a lot of their guys that they have. They know their roles. They play their roles well, and that's all making a good team for them right now.
Is there one key in your mind tonight to come out of here with a win and head back to Fargo?
The thing is that I think, what we try to build ourselves in is just that, you just have to make teams take tough shots. And when teams can get to the basket and get easy ones and get free throws, and what Minot does really well is offensive rebound. And that's obviously a big concern tonight is rebounding. If some of those guys can run in and rebound and be able to cut into the paint and score and catch in the paint, we're going to have a long night. So
I sure appreciate your time. Great catching up with you. On behalf of everybody here in Magi Country, welcome back to the Magic City. Tell the family hello and best of luck here today.
All right, thank you so much, okay?
That's Bart Manson, former Mr. Basketball, former Minot High standout, now the head coach of the Davies Eagles. When we come back, we'll talk to Dean Winchesky, the head coach of the Magi. Thank you again, Coach. It all happens next here on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Welcome back to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. We're now joined by the Minot High head man, Mr. Dean Winchesky. First things first, happy holidays and congratulations on number 400 the other night that we didn't have on the air. that has to be quite an early Christmas present for you.
Yeah, I was. Not a lot of people knew. My wife and I did a pretty good job of keeping that as quiet as we could, because it's it's because I've had great kids to coach both here and in Dickinson, and great assistants to work with. Here it's unbelievable the guys I get an opportunity to coach with and the help I get from them. But, just keep plugging along. And when you have some 20-win seasons like we've had recently, they add up in a hurry. And the biggest thing it means is that I'm old. And I got a lot of gray hair, and that's why I don't grow the beard out, because there's a lot more salt and pepper in that anymore. But, it is. It's a pretty awesome thing. And, if you would have told me my first year we were 2-18 that I would have got there, I would have said I'd been 200 years old.
You would have been crazy to think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, a job well done. Tonight's a challenge at hand that certainly isn't an easy one to add to that resume of yours. Davies ranked number 2 in the state. Tonight they're without Claybo. What does that do for this matchup here tonight, and how you get set and ready to roll?
Well, I didn't know they were without him, to be honest with you. I didn't know he wasn't playing.
Sounds like he's injured.
I don't know. Yeah, well, to be honest with you, it can't change our mentality whatsoever. It's one of those things where we have to go with the attitude to go and compete and make kids work and make it as difficult as we can on Davies, and we'll see what happens. We can't worry about who's out there. Obviously, Mason's a phenomenal player, and he's a great kid, which sucks that he's injured and he's gone through what he's had to, because he is. He's a wonderful. He's a wonderful kid, and all of the things that he's accomplished in his 52 years that he's been playing already. Played since he's an 8th grader, and it's unfortunate, because I think that brings another level of challenge. But they're still plenty good. Let's not short them. The York kid is as good a scorer as there is in the state. Camara is a phenomenal athlete. Beiswanger shoots it very well, and they're big. You put Whitty and Havelka in there. I mean, they present a lot of problems. So we have to do what we do. We've got to play hard. We've got to compete. We have to defend like crazy, and then offensively we've got to be unselfish. Now that we've found a few more guys to make some shots, and Grayson's been playing great, and Shell's been playing great, and we get 4 and sometimes 5 guys in double figures. We're going to be a hard match for people.
Tonight into this matchup, how much stake do you put into a win here as 2 versus 3? This is one for me that I've had circled on the calendar. Is it the same in Minot High basketball land, or is it just another measuring stick and stepping stone in this season?
No, it's a great game, to be honest with you. Bart has somebody did it a couple of years ago where they looked at the winning percentages throughout the state of all the teams, and over like the past 12 years, it's them and then us as far as the highest winning percentages over the past 12 years. And that's not by accident. Bart does a phenomenal job. His kids play tremendously hard for him, and him and I were just laughing about that. We're the old guys now. He's been at it, I think he said 26 or 27. This is my 24th year as a head coach, and you get to the length of time we've been doing it, you hopefully figure a few things out, and you learn from a lot of mistakes. I can tell you that right away, that there's a lot of mistakes involved in what I've done. And Bart's a good friend of mine. We played together in college, and I've known him for a long time. And, it should be a fun game tonight. Like I said, we just got to be concerned about who we are.
Final thing for you, Bryce and I were talking about it earlier today. You against Bart Manson one-on-one today. What do you think that would be like?
Well, Bart's in way better shape than I am, and you go back to 2000 back to 91 when he was playing. He was a senior, and he would beat me senseless regardless. I was fortunate because I was a guy that could stand there and shoot a little bit. I got a lot of open shots because of Bart doing things. And so, he helped take us to a national tournament, and we played the eventual national champion the first round, and he was phenomenal. He's as good a player as they've ever had at Minot State, and I don't care who they have now or what level they're at now. Bart was different. He was a D1, D2 point guard that could score and was physical, and like I said, I was one of those guys that got to stand there with my hands up and got to shoot it a bunch just because he drove and kicked to us. So. It would be ugly. Let's just put it that way.
It would be worth the price of admission in my mind.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a very long game because I'd be gassed in about 4 minutes.
Appreciate you. Best of luck here today.
All right, thanks.
That's Dean Woodcheski, the head coach of the Minot High Magicians. When we come back, we'll break down this matchup a bit further in the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. It's the Davies Eagles, ranked number number 2. The Magi from Minot High, ranked number 3. It's scheduled to be a doozy here tonight on the PSP Network.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Well, you better strap in tight tonight for this showdown inside of North Dakota AA basketball. The number 2 ranked Davies Eagles are invited to take on the number 3 ranked Magi from Minot High. Welcome back into our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Valvoline, 5 locations in Minot and Bismarck. Timely service that won't slow you down with trained technicians. It's advanced. It only takes about 15 minutes at the Valvoline drive-through oil change in Minot and Bismarck. Nick Hulberg alongside of Bryce Gutknecht. Who do you think would win in that showdown between Bart Manson and Dean Winchesky? One-on-one, Dean said that he wouldn't have a whole lot of time on the floor because he'd be winded at the end of that.
Sounds like Dean wants to make it just play half court for sure in a matchup like that. He definitely prefer to do that. Dean's no slouch. He was a heck of a player back then. He can shoot the basketball. Maybe give him a little more credit. I think it'd be pretty close, Nick.
College teammates at Minot State back in the day tonight. 2 coaches with over 400 wins go toe-to-toe inside of North Dakota high school hoops. Nick Hulberg, Bryce Gutknecht again on the call here tonight for this showdown. Let's take a look now at the leaders inside of the WDA. Who are the kids that are excelling right now inside the West region? Well, we'll see one of them tonight. Logan Conklin, number 4 inside of the WDA, putting in 20.4 points per game. Parker Falcon, Isaiah Schaefer, both on top of Conklin in that order. But Hudson Sheldon from Mandan really having a year. 30 points per game right now for the Mandan Braves. Some top talent right there. It's Isaiah St. Romain that's also on the screen, the Williston product. Where do the West Region boys match up with the guys in the state of North Dakota? Well, Hudson Sheldon at the top of the list with Mason Clabo from Davies. 30 points on average for each of those kids. What do you have to do to get 30 a night? I mean, not only do you have to play a lot of minutes, but you've got to be conditioned and you've got to be on almost every given night in order to score 30, don't you?
You got to be able to do a couple things. You got to get to the free throw line. Efficiency is the key word in that, Nick. You got to be efficient, going to the basket, finishing, making some outside shots. Like you said, free throw line's a huge part of that as well.
Logan Conklin still on this list, so is Daniel York. The bottom of this list here today. York for Davies averages 21. Conklin for Minot averages 20. They'll go head-to-head here tonight. We are without Mason Clabo in this ball game. Not in the lineup here tonight. 30 points on average for him. Bryce and I talked about that in the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show a few moments ago of how important it is for Davies to find those points that are going to be on a premium in this showdown against a defense in Minot High that is pretty tough to contend with. Only giving up 63 points per game are the Eagles. The Magi just about 10 better at 52.8 given up per ball game. It's going to be a defensive battle with some of the best players on the floor in our state. When we come back, we're going to look at our keys to the game, and then we're going to send it down to Eric Schaefer. He's going to have the starting lineups here tonight. We get set for Davies at Minot High, live from the Magic City Campus Gymnasium in the beautiful Magic City. Doesn't quite feel like Christmas time or winter time outside again, Bryce. Beautiful out there, but I'll tell you right now, it's going to be hot in here tonight. This place is just about jam-packed, as you would guess it to be, with Minot and Davies coming toe-to-toe in AA high school basketball.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
12 combined wins between these two clubs. Bit of a rivalry on the East versus West showdown. The extra factor, Bart Manson played for the Magi back in the 80s and 90s. One of 4 Mr. Basketballs for Minot High School. Coaches Davies here tonight. Let's turn it over to Eric Schaefer as we present a salute to our great country, the United States of America, with tonight's Star Spangled Banner.
Minot High School student Ruby May.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose proud stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. Rudy Min with an excellent rendition of our nation's national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Well, Bryce, time for our keys to the game here tonight. They're presented by our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. No other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. For the number 2 ranked Davies Eagles, productivity. For the number 3 ranked Magi, get involved early. Your thoughts on these keys and how do these teams execute on those keys here tonight?
If you're Davies Eagles, you're looking around saying, hey, maybe some young men you haven't really relied on much yet to start this season. Anything you can contribute tonight, maybe some guys who haven't got a lot of minutes, you're maybe taking a look at them. Minot High, I like to see when they go to Conklin early, they get them involved early, the soft touch around the basket. And then as the game kind of goes along, you see Schaefer, you see Shell, you see Winchensky get involved. Look for Conklin to get touches early tonight, Nick.
There's your keys to the game. Time to send it down to Eric Schaefer, the voice of the Magi. Mr. Eric Schaefer for the official introductions tonight. Landon Bedell will go in the place of Helm here tonight. We do apologize about that. For the Davies Eagles, Yulk, Kamara, Beiswanger, Hasbargen, Havelka. Bart Manson against Dean Winchesky. This should be a doozy tonight. Strap on in. Get ready for what could be an epic showdown here in the Magic City. Nick Hulberg, Bryce Gutknecht on the call here tonight. A matchup like this with a gym that's packed the way it is right after Christmas time, the holiday season still in full force. You couldn't ask for much more when you've got it on the schedule to begin with, but when they're ranked number 2 and 3 in the state of North Dakota, the elements are really magnified here tonight.
I can tell you what, Nick, there's an intensity in this gym tonight. Coaches from around the area are here catching a glimpse of these two great teams.
Davies is in dark, Minot High is in white. We are officially underway here from the Magic City. Turnaround jump shot. That one's off the mark. Well, you see the Davies fans have a tradition to stand until they score a bucket. We can only hope that that happens quick because I can't see a thing. Ball comes away to Logan Conklin. He's across the timeline. Picked off here. Eagles with possession. Thank you guys so much. It's going to be a foul on the play, and it's going to be charged on Grayson Schaefer. That's number 1 on Schaefer. First team foul. First foul of the ball game. Tonight's opening tip, by the way, was brought to you by our good friend Andrew Goodmanson at 701 Realty. For all your real estate needs, it's Andrew Goodmanson. Find him online, 701realty.com. Here's the Eagles from the outside with a jump shot off the mark. Just missed there from Meiswanger. Comes away down to Shell. He goes off to Wincheski, and Eric Wincheski, the All-Stater, delivers to Shell. Now Schaefer. We talked about Grayson Schaefer in the pregame show. Here tonight, our player profile. He's a young man that's going to look to do some work for Minot High, currently in the rebounding game inside of our state of North Dakota on the West region. He's the number 3 rebounder in the WDA. A guy like Schaefer tonight certainly has to be an X factor in this ball game in my mind. 10.3 points per game for him.
Something to watch early as well, Nick. Early whistle on Camara. They run that 3-2 zone. He is at the top in the middle of that. Super long, super athletic. Like I said, an early foul on him. Conklin knocks down the second one there.
56% from the charity stripe for Conklin. He goes 2 for 2. Minot's got a 2-point lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Down to the baseline, little reverse out in front. Shell's going to take it away. Now it's stripped on back. York's got it, and York's going to come out of the pile. One-on-one against Wincheski. That's a good matchup here tonight. Down to the baseline again. Spun around it comes. If you're just joining us, Davies without Claybo here in this ball game. There's going to be a foul charged here. Who will it be on? It's offensive as Conklin draws the foul for the Magi.
Great feet work by Mr. Conklin, getting in position, drawing that offensive foul. Does a little bit of everything, doesn't he?
Meiswanger charged with his first foul on the Davies Eagles. I think it's second on Davies. I missed one. I apologize. Back up to Shell. Now Wincheski downtown. Wincheski's off the mark. Towering up for the rebound and pulling it on out. That was Camara. And it's York on the dribble drive. Taking away Conklin, and Conklin's got it here for the Magi. Off to play football at North Dakota State University. Just committed inside recently. Eric Wincheski from downtown. Bang, bang. The Magi lead 5-0.
You got to love seeing that early. Didn't make his first shot there, Nick. No hesitation on the second one. Buries a 3, 5-0 start for the Magi.
York kicks it out. Camara's got it here. Camara into the paint. Off to the left side, no good. Schaefer with the rebound. Now Wincheski, and Wincheski brings it back across. Conklin barrels down. Off the window, Conklin goes up and scores, and Logan Conklin's got 4 early on, and the Magi are up by 7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. York off to the corner. Here's a 3 attempt on its way that's just a bit short on the miss from Meiswanger. Comes back, Conklin, clear the runway. Slam time, Logan Conklin. You want to talk about getting a place elevated early on. Slamma jamma from Logan Conklin, and the Magi are up 9-0.
The rim rocker from Conklin. What a start for the Magi with a steal for Wincheski.
Off the window, and Minot High School out of here like a bumblebee in a tin can tonight. The Magi are rocking early, 11-0. They lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Ryan Family Dealerships brings you another look at Logan Conklin's highlight reel jam. He's had plenty of those this season. You could add another one. Conklin goes up, a little hang time there. Certainly elevates this place, doesn't it?
Like I said, we said in the pregame, what an energy. How about the start by the Magi? Speeding up. Davies are kind of a little out of sorts, causing some early turnovers, Nick. Huge spark for them to start this game.
11-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. While we talked about Grayson Schaefer for just a moment, I don't know if we saw this earlier in our pregame here tonight. 10.3 points per game for Schaefer. 11 threes on the year. 7.9 rebounds per game for Grayson Schaefer. Block at the other end of the floor. The Magi have possession. Wincheski's got it. Now Schaefer. Davies has size. They've got length. They've got guys that can score the basketball in the lane. There's going to be a foul coming here. Officials for today's game, by the way.
Also number 2 in work. His first personal, 32 foul. Hit Michelle at the line, shooting 2.
Mike Holtz is in charge. Perry Olson, Jeremy Melhoff, the other official in tonight's ball game, as Shell goes to the line and misses on the first. 0 for 1 for Peyton Shell, kid that shoots 93% from the Serve Pro free throw line. Well, you see that stroke right there, and Shell's got his first point to the game. He's not going to miss many from the gimme strike.
You gotta like that early, the aggressiveness out of Shell. You feel like when I've seen Minot kind of at their best, Shell and Schaefer contributing on both ends. You see Shell picking up York here, full court.
Schaefer has the takeaway. The Magi have the ball with Wincheski. Held, Schaefer. Wincheski on the outside. He's got a three-pointer. Schaefer wants one. Swoosh! Grayson Schaefer from downtown, and the Magi have a 15-0 lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Great creation there. Schaefer wide open. Getting points out of him early, just huge for the Magi.
Beiswanger worked it back up top. This is Scarring with it. Shot clock's down to 8. Shot clock at 4. First points of the ball game for Davies is off the window as Kamara averaging 11.4 per game, and Kamara's got his first 2 tonight, and Davies is on the board.
See, Davies has switched out of that 3-2 zone already, electing to go man-to-man here.
Wincheski back. Schaefer downtown. You betcha. Back-to-back threes for Grayson Schaefer. The Magi lead 18-2 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Great looks early, falling for the Magi. Third 3 of the game, Nick.
Davies in maroon, mounted high and white if you're just joining us. Davies without their leading player, that point getter Mason Clabo, leader in the state of North Dakota, out with an injury here tonight. They've got quite a layoff after tonight's ball game, Bryce, playing a bit of a factor probably in the decision on whether or not Mason Clabo is in the lineup, not to speculate by any means.
Yeah, that's something you would, I don't like to say assume, but Coach Manson probably looked at saying, hey, we've got another week or so. I'm looking at their schedule, week or so off. You got to have Mason Clabo healthy for this stretch, you know, the second half of the majority of this season. Have him healthy, ready to go.
Underneath the hoop now for the Eagles. It's pushed back here to Hasbargen. That runner is no good. Hasbargen's going to be fouled on the play. Schaefer picks up his second. And Hasbargen's going to go to the Serve Pro free throw line.
I believe they got Nelson on that, so that's Nelson's first.
Thank you, Bryce. It was 33, not 34. I apologize. Braden Nelson into the ball game. Meanwhile, at the Serve Pro stripe, Hasbargen 1 for 1. 50% free throw shooter, holds true to that stat right there. Got the first, missed the second. There is a foul on the play away from the ball, or as they went for the ball. Holden Whitty charged with his first personal. 18-3 Magi off to an early lead. If you're Bart Manson right now, what's your game plan to try to shorten this gap a bit?
I like to say this a lot, take it in minutes. Try and win the next 3 minutes on the clock. Start knocking into that 15-point lead, but Schaefer has other ideas there, Nick.
Tickles the twine again, and Grayson Schaefer has 9 from 3 land, and the Magi are up 21-3 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. My goodness, what a start tonight for the Magi. It's going to be a travel violation on the near side from Beiswanger. Minot will get the ball back with 11:55 to play here in our first half. Leading 21-3 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC.bank. Locations throughout North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. BNC National Bank provides you with banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit BNC Bank online today, once again at BNC.bank. Here's Logan Conklin. He had one of the highlights that will make the reel here this evening with a slam time just a few moments in. Schaefer turnaround, high arc jump shot off the window, and Schaefer kisses the glass and scores. Grayson Schaefer having himself a ball game right now for the Magi.
Just over 8 minutes in, Schaefer's already in the double figures. Great start to the night for him.
Pass came inside. It was a good look from Havelka, but he just couldn't connect there with Holden Whitty. Minot gets the ball back. Into the ball game for the Magi, Landon Bedell. Conklin will check out. Schaefer to carry it across the half-court line. Not a sold-out show tonight here at the Magic City Campus Gymnasium, but pretty darn close for this 2-versus-3 matchup. Schaefer thought about it from NBA land. Now he works it back around. Helm to Bedell. Back up top. Schaefer again on the dribble drive. This time trying to dish off here to Helm. It's going to come to Nelson. No on the ground. No, Nelson's got it now. Good effort on the floor there from Holden Whitty. York charged with the foul, and Daniel York is going to pick up the personal. It's number 2 on York, the all-EDC selection. Davies fans didn't like that one very much.
I tell you what, York's got some blow-by speed. Probably like to see a jump stop, out of them. Just float that, throw a little floater up, get it on the rim. Good position there by Winchensky, drawing that offensive foul.
Bedell on the inside after the feed came from Shell, just off the mark. Coast to coast for Cameron Miller. Shot won't count as he's fouled on the way to the rack, and the foul's charged on Minot's Caden Helm. 14 fouls on the Magi, 5 on Davies. 10:37 left here in this first half of basketball. Minot with an early 20-point lead. Eagles to inbound. Back up top it comes for Hasbargen. Kamara into the paint. Look at that move from Kamara. Towers up, and Kamara's got 4 of the 5 here in this ball game for Davies.
Few defensive looks early. Mr. Manson's been switching it up. The full court press, the 3-2 zone, the man-to-man. Minot's had an answer for everything here in the first 10 minutes.
Ryan Family Dealerships replay. Find them online at driveryan.com. Browse their massive inventory. Speaking of massive, how about the game right now for Schaefer? He's got the Magi up by 20 at 25-5.
News. If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Marquee matchup inside of AA hoops tonight. Minot High holding the lion's share of the scoring in this ball game. They lead by 20 at 25-5. Nick Hulberg, Bryce Gutknecht on the call. Is it what you thought we would see early on here tonight?
I tell you what, I talked about maybe some rust, maybe a little with a break. I tell you what, Minot High has been everything but here to start this game, Nick.
Miller goes up and adds 2 more. His first 2 points of the ball game. It's now 25-7. Minot High on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Minot State University brings you this ball game here tonight. Be seen, be heard, be you. It's Minot State. Davies with back-to-back buckets after the takeaway. Nice leak out from Beiswanger. Got it off there to Hasbargen, and Hasbargen's got 3 points now in the ball game as Davies tries to cut into the big Minot lead.
Good time out there by Manson. You get a couple turnovers, couple easy buckets.
Nice stuff there from Camara. Other end of the floor, little runners, no good. 2 shots will come now here for Beiswenger. Defensively, Davies with the size that they have inside. We'll see play coming here from Camara, the 6'4" senior forward, in just a moment. Add a block to his resume on the season. Meanwhile, at the other end of the floor, it's Hasbargen, who's now 2 for 3 from the Serve Pro free throw line. Lead cut to 15. Make that Beiswenger instead. Thank you. Gets to both. The Beiswenger, 33% field goal shooter and 33% from the free throw line. Puts in 2. Here's Conklin inside. Conklin traveled with the basketball. Perry Olsen had the call. Davies gets the ball back.
It's been a great couple minutes here by Davies out of that timeout. Like I said, forcing turnovers, getting to their brand of basketball, kind of speeding it up.
Off the window, put 2 more in for Alpha Camara.
I am impressed with Camara here early. He is so long, so athletic. Look at the wingspan on him. Relentless going to the basket.
Listen to these Davies fans. They come alive as the Eagles are on a 6-0 run. Back up top, Bedell got it off Conklin. Conklin's picked off. Camara's got it. This is a 3-on-2 back the other direction. Euro step move off the window, no good. Conklin back to Bedell. The Magi are going to slow it down. So much so they take a timeout. Dean Winchesky wants to talk things over with his Magi. They led 25-5, and all of a sudden the Davies Eagles are back in the same neighborhood. It's 25-13 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Place like the country club. 18 holes of immaculate golf, along with golf simulator, PGA staff, club fitting and lesson, driving range and practice green, pro shop, delicious food, endless fun in the pool, and activities for the whole family. Learn more and become a member today.
Tonight's ball game on the PSP Network brought to you by our friends at Roger Ward Moving and Storage. Landon Bedell went up and scored, then the shoe came off for Camara. Well, you're the shoe expert. How do you like those Nikes here from number 11 for the Eagles tonight?
Those are some nice kicks there. I tell you what, I do really enjoy the Davies uniforms. The MJ brand with the stripe, I'm a huge fan.
How about that move of the paint? Rolls in. Beiswenger puts it up. He's got 4. That's his first field goal. I don't know if those points went on the board for the Davies Eagles here, Bryce. Did they? Maybe they did. Conklin's up off the window and scores, and Conklin adds 2 more.
I'm not sure on that, Nick. I thought they did.
Runners no good. Rebound pulled down by York, the all-EDC selection. And York goes to work with the basketball. 7:20 to tick down here in our first half. That ball's going to roll all the way to the other end of the floor. It goes out of play. Touch last by Minot High, so it will be Davies basketball. Great to catch up with Bart Manson here tonight. Talked about his time in the Magic City back in 1988 all the way to 1991. A pair of state titles for Bart Manson before being named Mr. Basketball in North Dakota. Camara goes up and slams the door again. Camara having himself a defensive effort. That's his second block that goes into the book tonight.
If you looked over, Nick, I was doing the Matumbo finger wave there. Camara with a block party underneath there. He's got a couple in this game.
Here's Winchesky up top for the Magi. 5 early points for him. He's been quieted since the first 3 minutes. Under 7 to play in this first half. Ball's going to roll out of play. Last touched here by the Eagles. So Logan Conklin will get to stay on the offensive side. Tonight's ball game brought to you by Planet Pizza. There's no pizza like it. Serving the Magic City for over 25 years. It's a local pizza shop, Planet Pizza. They will deliver tonight, 701-852-1700. Inside, Conklin from Winchesky, count the bucket, and he's fouled.
What a find from Winchesky underneath. Conklin finishing under contact. Has an opportunity for an N1.
Ryan Family Dealerships replay. Winchesky, excellent little skip pass underneath. Jim goes almost silent for Conklin. Misses on that attempt, and Conklin's now 2 for 3 in the ball game from the Serve Pro free throw line. Eagles with possession, 31-15. Minot High's on top. Winchesky pulls down the rebound, leaks it out here for Conklin. Underneath the rack. Oh, that one got off the knee of Conklin and out of play. The big man for the Magi licking his chops a bit there.
York checking back into this game, held scoreless for this first half so far. Peyton Shell has had the task of kind of guarding him this whole first half. Now you see Winchesky on him.
York works it back up top. Here to Hasbargen. Off to the corner, step back 3 on its way, rimmed in, then out. It missed for Beiswanger, who touched it last. They say it was off the Magi. Well, we sure appreciate you joining us here tonight on the PSP Network. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You'd be amazed what that does in our mission of promoting local athletes across our great state. While you're at it, make sure to hit like and follow on all of our social media platforms as well. PSP Network, it's game day. Deep 3. I don't know if he called bank or not, Bryce, but the bank was open and the 3 is there. Hasbargen.
I might have to change bank, Nick, if it's open that late.
Winchesky. Held back up now to Nelson. Here's Winchesky inside. Conklin's got it. Conklin off the window, fighting for the rebound. Still battling inside. That was a key tonight. The battle on the glass with the size of both of these basketball teams. That time it was the Eagles that won that battle inside. Jump shot off the mark for York. Here comes Conklin back to Schaefer. He's been motoring here in this ball game. Winchesky spin move, finds Schaefer inside. Good defense there. Cameron Miller, 6-foot-tall sophomore, slammed the door.
Great cut by Schaefer, just better defense by the Eagles.
Spin move on the other side was no good. Winchesky sets up shot for the Magi with 5:05 to play here in our opening half. Schaefer was stripped on his way in, brings York to the other end of the floor. York skips it inside, off the window. Caleb Scarry's got his first points of tonight's ball game.
Great find by York. There hasn't had it on the offensive end in the scoring department, but look at that. Great little find to set up Scarry.
Davies defense big on the defensive end of the floor again. Eagles will cross the timeline. Kicked out. There's going to be a foul on the play. Conklin in some pain on the floor for the Magi. He went down hard here, Bryce. He's going to hop up. Conklin's going to be charged for the block to add insult to the injury here. It's a tough kid. He'll be all right, but you always cringe just a bit when you see the knees being grabbed on the floor.
Yeah, it seems like they maybe might have hit knees. Kind of an awkward little collision there. He was up quickly, something you'd love to see.
Conklin charged with his second. Eagles have possession. Comes across the timeline where Hasbargen's got it here. 4.5 to play in our opening half of basketball tonight on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's the Magi up by 11 at 31-20. Travel was the violation. You hear the Davies fans weren't fond of that one either. That was a close play as the ball almost got out of the fingertips in time.
like they might have been arguing. He got rid of it before he kind of started falling down there, Nick, but refs did not see it that way.
It's a good crew of officials here tonight with plenty of big game experience, not only at the high school, but the college levels as well. Shell to Helb. Eagles again on the defensive side, take the basketball away. From the elbow, Hasbargen's got it. Hasbargen into the paint, wide open, three land. Scary off the mark. Schaefer with another board. Now Shell. Peyton Shell averaging 12.3 for the Magi coming into the ballgame. Here's Schaefer, jump shot off the mark. 3:39 ticks down here in the first half. It's had its ups and downs in this ball game. Three attempt from this side. Nailed it. Caleb Scary with a pair of buckets. He's got 5. We've got ourselves a 31-23 ball game on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today.
Well, one of the most memorable wins for Bart Manson inside of the Magic City came back in 2014. That was at the MSU Dome when Manson led the Davies Eagles to a state title. Looking at Bart Manson over his career, he was just a young lad in that photo on the left, wasn't he? That's back when he was a senior in high school at Minot High. He averaged 24.2 points per game for the Magicians, 5.3 assists. He had over 1,000 career points, pair of state titles, one in 88, one in 90. Mr. Basketball. Pair of titles for Davies head coach at this point, 13 years as the main man for the Davies Eagles. Over 450 career wins for Bart Manson. His dad Gene watching tonight, legend at Minot High. All the years that Gene Manson was a head coach in our state, 37 if I'm not mistaken. Talk about a legendary guy. This is Winchesky, swoosh. Well, Eric Winchesky from downtown, and Winchesky's got a three-pointer. If you're Bart Manson right now, Bryce, is there a game plan out of that timeout to change anything at this point to the ball game?
I think they, like you had said, they kind of got punched in the mouth early, Nick. Obviously, it was 23-3. He uses that timeout. They've been starting to force some turnovers. Some shots are starting to fall. Scary makes a big contribution off the bench. They're right back in it.
Braden Nelson inside. Battled for the rebound, and in the process, he was fouled on the play. Remember watching Bart Manson back in the day?
How about those numbers? 24. Don't forget about the 5 assists, getting his teammates involved.
Braden Nelson at the Serve Pro free throw line, and Nelson 0 for 1 from the Serve Pro stripe. Serve Pro 24/7 emergency service. Trained technicians in advanced technology, serving Western North Dakota at Serve Pro. Scary was charged with the personal foul, by the way, if you're keeping track at home. Nelson gets the second one to drop in. Peter checks in for the Magi, the quarterback of the state title football team. Down to the baseline. It's going to be a foul on this play. And Beater's the one that's charged with the foul. 6'3" senior forward. Davies into the bonus here with a 35-23 score, 2:32 to tick down in our first half. Bounces, no good.
I got to believe if you're Coach Manson, anything you can do to get this single digits, you got to feel like that's a big win in this first half, the way this game started out, Nick.
Shell back up. Beater inside, back to Shell. Outside now it goes for Schaefer. Kicks it out to Shell, downtown. Bingo. That's a big bucket right there for Shell. He's fouled on the play, and he's got a shot at making it a 4-point play here for the Magi as he goes to the Serve Pro free throw line. Good ball movement from Minot High School, getting this basketball worked around the perimeter, finding the open Shell, and Shell got the three, but he couldn't get the freebie from the Serve Pro free throw line. 38-23, Minot High on top, three on the other side. That one's off the mark. It just missed there from Caleb Scary, the 6'1" senior.
I can't tell you enough about the job that Shell has done on York in this first half. He has flustered him. Like I had said, York, no points here in this first half. You gotta believe if Davies gonna have a shot, he is gonna have to get going offensively.
That foul was charged on number 13, Jackson Beiswinger. That's number 3 on him here, Bryce. That's one of the starting 5 here for the Eagles. Just off the mark as Bedell went to the Serve Pro free throw line, and Landon Bedell, 30% free throw shooter, is now 0 for 1 of the ballgame. Under 2 to play in the first half. Jump shot, Camaro. Schaefer with the rebound. Here's Eric Winchesky. What do you remember about Gene Manson?
The fist bumps and the holding the towel. Those two things really stick out to me. The energy on that sideline was fun to watch.
Bedell inside. There's going to be an offensive charge here as Bedell ends up on the wood. It's going to be an offensive charge to Landon Bedell.
Kind of a tough spot there for Bedell. You got that pass kind of leading him into that contact. Good defense again by Davies. They have forced some turnovers here in the second part of this first half.
Landon Bedell with a pair of fouls here for Minot High. Minute 17 left in the first half of basketball. That 3 attempt off the mark from Scary. Gene Manson played at Langdon and helped the Langdon Cardinals get to the state tournament a pair of times in his high school career before coaching at Devil's Lake. Minot High School, legendary coach inside of our state. Here's Winchesky. How about that second effort inside for Eric Winchesky? Goes up off the window and scores.
Winchesky gets a bucket, but how about the work from Beater? Just going after that loose ball, creating it, keep it in play. Winchesky ends up with it, gets a layup.
Shell charged with the foul. This will send York to the free throw line. 56% from the charity stripe on the season for York. Drops that first one in.
I say this a lot, when you got a scorer like York, north of 20 points a game about he averages, you get to the free throw line, that sometimes gets you going. Seeing that ball go in from the charity stripe there.
According to my count, that's his first 2 of the ball game, Bryce. Coming from the Serve Pro free throw line. York had 34 against Shanley. That's his season high. He had 29 against Jordan Wilhelm's Bismarck High Demons. Davies took it to Bismarck High in that ball game. They busted the 100-point mark on that occasion. Final score in that ball game was 102-75 against a gritty Bismarck High team. Schaefer inbound. 23 seconds on the game clock. 7 seconds now on the shot clock. Shell back to Beater. Now Winchesky on the dribble. Winchesky looking like Jordan off the mark. Rebound underneath, batted around, comes away here to Cameron Miller. Miller's going to bring it back across. York back up top. Spin move in the lane, taken away. Schaefer's got it. Schaefer to Winchesky. Tosses it up, has a chance. Off the mark. We are through one half of basketball. Minot High hopped out to an early 20-point lead. Davies cut into it. Minot High extended the lead once more. Davies cut into it again. It's been a teeter-totter affair. I would guess the second half will certainly be worth the price of admission. One half complete. 1 half to go. Minot High 40, Davies 25 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western, North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Name it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
And finally, Agent Smith. He's in charge of restoring your property to its original state.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western, North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
Well, the Minot High dance team performing here at halftime. Job well done to those young ladies tonight. 40-25 at the break. Halftime brought to you by our friends at Magic Towing. You blow it, we tow it. Put the number in your phone now, 701-509-4011. It's Magic Towing bringing you our halftime report. Nick Hulberg alongside of Bryce Gutknecht here on the Halftime show. Bryce, first things first. Number 2 against number 3 in the state of North Dakota. Is it what you expected here this evening?
Yeah, obviously the news that we got with Claybo being out and stuff kind of changed the whole dynamic here to the game, but Minot just foot on the gas right out of the break there, got it to 23-3. Then you see the Eagles responding. They're starting to cause some turnovers, make a few shots, getting contributions off the bench. Then a nice little 9-2 spurt by the Magi to push this to 15 in the first half. 3 guys in double figures that first half for the Magi. Huge.
How about Grayson Schaefer certainly throwing his name into the hat as one of our players to watch for the MVP of tonight's ball game. We talked about him in the pregame show tonight, what a factor he was. He certainly held true to our words earlier on here this evening. Minot High likes to see that out of guys like Grayson Schaefer, averaging 10 per night, 13 in that first half.
Great half out of Schaefer. I'm going to be honest, I'm not trying to throw any negativity on him. He's played a great game. I think there was just a few more instances where if I was Dean Winchesky, maybe be a little more selfish, shoot the ball. He had a couple more good looks I thought he could have taken there in the first half, but like I said, 13 points from him, hitting some big threes early in the game. Huge first half for him, Nick.
Well, we see some of the highlights of Minot High Majets basketball in the last matchup that we had here on this home floor. The Majets off at St. Cloud at a tournament here this week. Boy, did they really flex some muscle against Jamestown in our last broadcast, didn't they?
I tell you what, the defensive prowess of that game and the focus that the Majets had on the defensive end of the floor really stood out to me, Nick.
There's one of them right there from Lily Bell. Boy, has she been a special player to watch. The Majets doing what they can. See if they can compete with some of the top talent over in Minnesota. Now to the highlights of this ball game here tonight, brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. Minot High off to an early lead, 25-3 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Saw a timeout called there. The Magi poured it on a bit, but you're going to see Davies with some highlights in this highlight package as well as their defensive efforts in their own defensive zone underneath the basketball hoop inside Minot's paint. Really was impressive. There you see Camara with a big block on that play. He had a pair of those in the first half. He's impressed in this contest.
His athletic ability, his wingspan has really stood out in this first half. His ability to guard. I'm really interested to see if they keep switching up their defensive scheme and stuff, maybe going back to that 3-2 zone where he's up on top.
Highlights presented by Ryan Family Dealerships. Browse their massive inventory online, driveryan.com. Some more Minot High highlights in that first half. Let's look at the numbers presented by Ryan Family Dealerships. Minot leading 40-25. Each team has 6 scorers in the books. Minot hit 6 3-pointers in the opening half, 3 of which came from Grayson Schaefer. 5 for 7 from the charity stripe for the Eagles. Minot only went 4 for 9 from the free throw line. It's a Minot High team that right now shooting 62% from the stripe. Davies from the free throw line at 65.9%. Any of these numbers standing off that graphic?
Obviously, we're looking at the 15-point lead. The ability to shoot the 3 ball was huge for the Magi in the first half. Like you said, Schaefer knocked down threes, open looks. Winchesky added in, shot the ball very well in the first half, Nick.
Those numbers presented by Ryan Family Dealerships. Well, again tonight without Mason Claybo for the Davies Eagles, out with an injury, unfortunately not in the lineup here in this showdown. Why is that important? Well, we talked about those state leaders earlier on in our pregame. Mason Claybo along with Hudson Sheldon, currently number 1 inside of AA basketball in North Dakota with the points that they've put up on the season, 30 per average for both of those young men. Mason Claybo, only a junior, Bryce. This is a young man that doing the prep work for this ball game here tonight. You're going to see that on the all-time scorers list, Mason Claybo currently sits with 1,363. Been off the pace of Anand Moody, who's got 2,192. Why is that important, however? Well, he's got about 40 games left if he can stay healthy, averaging 30 per night. You can do the math and see that Claymo's on his way to becoming one of the greats in our state, if not the greatest scorer of all time.
Like you had said, let's hope he gets healthy. You don't like to see injuries of any kind. See Davies back at full strength with him in the lineup.
Conklin had the first points of the second half. A quick response from Hasbargen. He nails a three-pointer. It's 42-28 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
This ballgame on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by the UPS Store. Located on South Broadway in the Magic City, it's the UPS Store for all your packing and shipping needs. They're open 6 days a week, located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza. UPS Store just in time to ship back any of those Christmas presents that maybe didn't make your all Christmas present list, maybe.
Go see Mr. Knopp. He'll help you out.
Prestwich Orthodontics also brings you the showdown between number 2 and number 3 in the state. Prestwich Orthodontics, specializing in braces and Invisalign for all ages. They offer 0% financing and free consultations either online or in the office at Prestwich Orthodontics. Find out more at modernbraces.com. Camara, another steal inside, leads to York at the other end of the floor. Conklin takes the ball away. 2 players are on the ground. Conklin charged with the travel.
Tell you what, Nick, interesting early timeout from Bart Manson there after that made 3. I don't know if he saw something in that first possession for the Magi he didn't like where Conklin got that layup, but I think he's only down to a couple timeouts left for this game.
Davies did ball the basketball again. Beiswanger. Got the ball in. Down to the baseline, taken away. Schaefer's got it here, and Schaefer will lead the charge for the Magi. Off in the corner, Bedell downtown, off the mark. Hasbargen comes away with it.
Great defense by Schaefer, cutting off that baseline, coming up with the steal.
Shell towers up over York and brings down the board. Now Wincheski's got it. Wincheski brings it back across. Eric Wincheski, the all-region, all-state selection. Back in his sophomore campaign, now as a junior for the Magi, averaging 14.8 per ball game. Here's Wincheski, top of the key. Step back, jump shot, front of the rim. Conklin there at the rebound. Conklin off the window, too strong. Rebound again. Camara's there, and Camara's going to bring that basketball down, and the Eagles bring it back across the timeline. York dribble drive, stops, pops, puts it up, and Daniel York, a quiet 4 in this contest. That's a highlight reel play right there for the young all EDC selection.
Gotta get York going the second half. Great. He's been so good off the dribble, just hasn't really finished around the rim. That time he gets it to fall. Like to see if maybe that gets him going.
Camara again, lays it back off Hasbargen. And Hasbargen puts it off the window and scores.
Great start to second half for Hasbargen here. 5 quick ones for him, Nick.
He's got 11 to lead the scoring charge for the Davies Eagles as you hear their fans come to volume inside the Magic City Campus Gymnasium. Wincheski open 3 land. You betcha. Wincheski's got another 3. That's his 3rd of the ball game. And the Magi go back up 45-32 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Great set ran there by Minot High. You see Schaefer setting that pick. Wide open look for Wincheski. Buries it from downtown. Back to 13.
One of the keys you talked about at our break, brought to you by Magic Towing. That 3 ball, and who was able to net more of them. Minot High in the first half had 6 3-pointers compared to the 2 for Fargo Davies. Minot can shoot the 3 pretty well. And by pretty well, I mean at 33%, which isn't a very low number. It's not enormous by any means. A number that they'd like to work on throughout the year, but probably content with, I guess, would be the message there.
I think after tonight, that number might be going up here.
Hell missed one. But it was Shell underneath. Cleaned it up and scored. York behind the back. Camara's got it here. Off of the corner. 3-lad. Bingo. Eiswanger has his first 3-pointer of the ball game. He's got 7 points now. Lead hanging at 12 here for the Magi. Wincheski had it taken away. Other end of the floor we go now here for Beiswanger. Stops and lays it up and in. And Beiswanger lays in the easy bucket.
Early foul trouble for him. Beiswanger in the first half. Some major contributions here in the second half. They got to keep him on the floor.
Leads cut to 10. Help on the left side. Too much on it. Shell's got it. Shell trying to lay it up. No rebound. Pulled down. Davies has possession. And the Eagles are across the timeline here with York. Dribbles in. Stops. Kind of got a little Deontay Martinez flavor to him, the way that he stops and puts it up that way. That time it was off the mark. Charged with a foul. That's number 3 on Daniel York here in this ball game, Bryce. Something to keep an eye on in the early portion of the second half.
Kind of a frustration foul there. He gets the blow by, gets a good look at the rim, doesn't finish. Kind of wonder if York's kind of forcing the issue some with Claybo out, trying to carry the load tonight for Davies. Like I said, plenty of time to get going in this game, though.
It's going to be a foul on the play on the reach in. Kate Olhauser to the ball game. First touch. Foul for him. Tonight's ball game brought to you by Northern Plains Heating and Air. No other choice to seal your heating and air game. The Northern Plains Heating and Air. Find them online, northern-plains.com. Wincheski's at the top of the key. To the right side, kicked it back off Schaefer. Braden Nelson ends up in Conklin's hands. Now Schaefer's, they working around the wheel. Here's Wincheski. He was hammered underneath. Then it comes to Nelson, and Nelson puts it off the window and scores.
Kind of right place, right time there by Nelson. Comes up with the ball, gets an easy put back.
Lead back to 12 for the Magi. Eagles working around the perimeter here. Back up top to Kate Olhauser, the junior. Deep 3 on its way. Rainbow Archer, no good. Comes back away to Wincheski. He'll slow up shop just a bit with 12:30 to play in the second half. Minot High came out to an early 25-5 lead tonight on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Then a bit of a teeter-totter match as defensively the Eagles really tightened it up. There's Conklin towering up. Can't get it to fall on the second chance. Camara came in, pulled down the rebound. Then it's Wincheski on the takeaway. Up top, Schaefer, open 3-lad. Back of the rim. Well, you saw the Minot High fans almost come to their feet. Just couldn't get it to fall. 3 on the other side of the floor. Towers way up and then drops in. Olhauser's got his first points of the ball game, and they come from downtown.
Big 3 off the bench. Olhauser gets it under single digits, just under the 12-minute mark.
Wincheski down to the baseline. Oh, Wincheski blocked by Olhauser. Olhauser coming up with some big plays here in the second half. He's got a bit of a limp now, however, after the big block that he just committed here on Eric Wincheski.
I think he might have turned his ankle coming down there, maybe stepped on Wincheski's foot. Gotta hope he's okay.
Timeout on the floor. Dean Wincheski just reached 400 wins last week. He's going to talk to his Magi as Bart Manson called the timeout. This ballgame on the PSP Network is brought to you by our friends and friend Mason Kramer at Mason Kramer Photography. Senior portraits and game action shots. One of the best in the business can be found at MasonKramerPhotography.com. He's on all social media platforms as well. Mason Kramer, proud supporter of the PSP Network and our mission of promoting local athletes. He does great work. Should get a picture of you and I up here, maybe.
Yeah, we can ask him.
Probably after a couple Sport Clips haircuts would be.
I could definitely use one.
Schaefer with the basketball. Inside to Conklin. Shot clock's at 7. Big stuff again inside from Kamara. Wachowski's got it back. Shot clock at 2. Swoosh! Eric Wachowski just knocked down a big-time three-pointer as the shot clock was all the way down to 1. That might be your move of the game right there, Bryce. Could be a momentum swinger here for the Magi as Eric Wachowski nets one from downtown.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it a little assist to Coach Horniker there. He made him aware of the shot clock there. When Chensky, right place, right time, finds that loose ball, buries the 3 with a couple left on the shot clock.
Davies with possession. York on the drive. Conklin goes up and slams the door. Well, Logan Conklin, one of the top defenders inside of the WDA, adds a block to his resume reel.
What about the explosiveness of York to get by to the basket? Excuse me.
Kamara's got it here after the Davies miss. Weiswanger off the mark. Conklin pulls down the rebound. Shell's got possession, and Shell's going to bring it back across the timeline. Schaefer in the corner. Conklin into the ball game for the Magi. Carson Sessing wearing number 23. Here's Wachowski. Dribble drive move, kicks it back upstairs, I'm trying to say, as the ball's going to be tossed across. Getting a hand on that one was Colin Williams. Is there a foul on the play, or did it just go on a bounce?
I'm going to tell you, I'm not really sure, but I'll tell you that one thing, Coach Manson did not agree with that call, Nick.
Wachowski's got it here. Jump shot there from Shell. Shot clock violation on the Magi. The defense from Davies at times in this ball game has certainly been impressive.
Great contest there by York to cause the shot clock violation. Kamara's been everywhere. I think I've got him for about at least 3 blocks tonight. That length, that athleticism.
Count the bucket. I need some help on that one, my friend.
We got Mr. Colin Williams, his first bucket of the night there, sophomore, number 23.
Thank you. Conklin's got it. Lead back to 10 for the Magi. Wachowski nailed it. Eric Wachowski putting on a three-point clinic tonight. That's his 3rd three-pointer here in the second half. He had 2 back in the first for 5 in this ball game. 9:30 to tick down in regulation. Number 2 Davies trailing number 3 Minot 55-42. If you're just joining us here tonight, no Mason Clabo, but there is a steady dose of Daniel York here in the second half. York cuts the lead back to 11.
I've been super impressed with him off the dribble, that blow-by speed. Super athletic, just finishing at the rim there.
Shell inside, Conklin. He's going to be fouled on the play. Kamara is going to be charged with number 2 here in this ball game. 3rd team foul on Fargo Davies.
Tell you what, every time you kind of think Davies is making that run, Minot's had an answer. The second half, it's been Winchensky with the 3 ball. Here comes another one.
That one's going to be off the mark. Who touched it last? Minot High says, wasn't us. But the verdict comes in to say otherwise, and it will be Davies basketball. Hey, by the way, we're not done with our holiday basketball coverage. We've got a full day tomorrow. This is a doubleheader tonight, by the way. The Mandan Holiday Tournament in full swing down at Mandan. Chuck Claremont and Todd Domrys have the semifinals of that Mandan Holiday Classic. Tomorrow, the Mandan Holiday Tournament, championship round, and the Dale Brown Classic live from the MSU Dome. Owen Patterson, Bryce Gutknecht, and yours truly, Nick Hulberg, will have the call starting at 11 a.m. That's 7 ball games tomorrow, by the way, folks. We've got 7 more coming up on Saturday for the Hoopster Classic at the Minot Auditorium. 3-banger there for Jackson Beiswinger. Tickles the twine from downtown. And we've got ourselves a ball game, 55-47. The Eagles have clawed back in.
Beiswinger, 8 big points here in the second half. Shooting it with confidence.
Off to the corner. 3-ball. Bingo. Sessing comes into the ball game and hits a big time 3. Leads back to 11 for the Magi. How much different do you think this game is tonight with Claybo in the lineup? There's a little jump shot for York.
Yeah, it's a question on everyone's mind and stuff. I just kind of wondered, like I had said, York, you're kind of probably asking him to do more, and he's looked sped up at times. You wonder with Claybo out there and him doing what he does, if it is different.
Winchesky, runner, puts it up off the window, and Eric Winchesky. That's another 2-pointer here in this contest.
11 big points out of Winchesky the second half. He's been terrific.
21 total for him in the ball game. Conklin across half court. He was hounded heavily, and the foul's going to be charged on Colin Williams. Only the first personal on Williams. Kamara's going to check out of the ball game. Williams will check out. Caleb Scari's going to check back in here for Davies. Scary had a 3-pointer and another field goal for 5 total in the first half. Magi with possession. Winchesky into the paint, puts it off the window with the left hand. Little fingertip roll for Eric Winchesky.
I don't think the viewers knew how tough of a layup that was. The switch of the hand in the air by Winchesky, finishing with your left hand.
Havelka's into the books, and Havelka cuts the lead back to 11. It's kind of been floating around that 12-11 mark here in the second half, Bryce. It's 40-25 at the break in favor of the Magi. Shell wide open downtown. No good. Winchesky went up after the rebound. He was battling there along with Hasbargen. Winchesky ended up on the ground. Oh, Winchesky's in some pain here, Bryce.
Gonna give him a quick blow here, you got to imagine. Maybe Dean uses a timeout as well. Buy him a few more minutes for this stretch run, Nick.
Knocked the wind right out of the All-State player for the Magi. Turnaround. Count that bucket. Oh, there's a highlight. Havelka. Endy's fouled on the play.
Havelka took him a little while to get involved. Back-to-back buckets here. Got the lead down to 9. Free throw can make it 8. Plenty of time left in this game, over 6 minutes.
Nice play from Havelka, the 6'5" senior. Chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. He nets it. 5 points in the second half for Havelka. 6:15 ticking down. You could feel the energy rising inside of the Magic City Campus Gymnasium. And Conklin inside. He's fouled. Davies fans wanted a travel violation. That's number 4 on Beiswinger.
I really like that set, Nick. Excuse me, mine out there. Throwing the ball down low in the Conklin there. Draws the foul.
Conklin at the serve pro free throw line, Started 2 for 2, and he's gone 2 for 4 in the ball game since, making 2 for 5 as that one was just a bit off the mark. Well, you better buckle up tight now, my friend. It's about to get real good inside the Magic City Campus Gym. These next few minutes are going to tell the story here this evening. 62-54. The number 3 ranked Magi lead the number 2 ranked Davies Eagles. Wincheski back into the ball game. Off the front of the rim. Shell's in there for the rebound. Shell battling, climbing, scoring off the window.
So many big buckets by Shell all season. He's been doing that. Comes up with the loose ball and the rebound there and a putback.
3 on the other side attempted that was off the mark from Scarry. The run and gun back up top for Helm downtown. No good. Weiswinger comes up with the rebound. Leads at 10 here for the Magi. Conklin, big takeaway inside the umbrella. It's like a football grab right there for the NDSU commits.
Looks a lot like the catch I saw the one-handed on the sideline there, Nick, at the Dakota Bowl.
Memory that will last in your brain for a lifetime, I guarantee you.
I tell you what, you and I like to talk about it about every time we're together. It just doesn't get old.
Conklin goes off the window and scores. He had 10 in the first half. He's got 4 quiet points here in the second half, but his defensive play has carried his load here. It's going to be a foul charged on the Magi. It's going to be on Peyton Shell. Tonight's ball game brought to you in part by our friends at Planet Pizza. There's no pizza like it. Planet Pizza, home to the famous Blue Buffalo, or just the plain cheese. I'm telling you, Planet Pizza is out of this world. Find them online, planetpizzaND.com. Daniel York's at the free throw line. He's now 2 for 3 in the ball game, shooting 56% from the stripe coming into the contest. That's the second. York's got 9 points in this showdown.
Shell has been a thorn in his side all night. He's had the task of guarding him all night. Has done a heck of a job in this game.
Helm down to the corner for Schaefer. Shot clock's at 9 for the Magi. Shell inside, turnaround. Shell gets it to fall as Peyton Shell coming alive here in the second half.
Great patience by the Magi. Get the ball to Shell on the block. Easy 2 for Minot.
Wincheski gobbles it up. Under 4 to play in regulation. A game that we've had circled on the calendar since it was released on the schedule back in the summertime. Has not disappointed this evening at Magic City Campus's Gymnasium. Wincheski with 12 on the shot clock. Dribbles to his right, in traffic. He's fouled on the play.
A lot of these second half sets have been ran through Wincheski. Huge second half for them. Done a lot of his work from the outside. How about that? Going to the basket, getting to the free throw line, gets rewarded.
Hasbargen charged with the foul. Sends Eric Wincheski back to the serve pro stripe. And Wincheski, that's his first, sends him to the serve pro stripe, I should say, for the first time in the ball game. Correct me. Second chance on its way here for the 6'2 junior guard for the Magi. Rolled in, then out. Kamara and Conklin went up after the basketball. They're going to say Conklin touched it last. Eagles with possession. From the elbow, Olhauser. Back up top it comes Beiswenger. Step back jump shot. Jackson Beiswenger has led the charge here in the second half for the Davies Eagles. Here's the Ryan Family Dealerships replay. $14 total for Beiswenger. He's got the Eagles back within 12.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
Nick Hulberg, Bryce Gutknecht on the call from the Magic City Campus Gymnasium. Minot High and Davies in a slugfest. It's been a physical ball game.
Yeah, it has. You see, Davies picked them up full court here, trying to cause some more turnovers here in this last 3 minutes.
Schaefer went inside behind the back to Conklin off the mark, but Conklin was fouled. Kamara is going to be charged with number 3. Sends Conklin back to the serve pro stripe. On its way for Conklin off the mark.
Checking in for the Magicians. Number 32, Lucas Minot.
One of the top rebounders in the WDA, number 4 in point production right now for all scorers in the West region. No love from the Minot High hoop there. Conklin 0 for 4 now in the second half from the serve pro free throw line. Eagles on the offense. That ball's going to be tossed away over on the far sideline. Minot will get the ball back. You can tweet at us at Network PSP. Sorry, Bryce. Tweet at us at Network PSP. Comment on Facebook on who you think tonight's MVP of the showdown is. We'll have that coming your way in the Planning Team Financial and Shots Crossroads postgame. MVP delivered by Sport Clips, where you can get the MVP haircut experience. Not going to be an easy choice tonight. There's been some players that have stood out here in this ball game.
Been a lot of contributions.
York's got it. On the dribble through the paint to Kamara. Back up top. Hasbargen downtown, nailed it. Third three-pointer for Hasbargen. And Davies cuts it to single digits at 69-60.
Let's see if they can cut into it more. It seems like every time it's been 8 or 9, the Magi have had an answer to push it back to double digits.
Dean Winchesky calls a timeout. 9-point lead for the Magi as down the stretch we come from the Magic City Campus Gymnasium. You better be buckled in tight. Under 2 to play in regulation from Magic City Campus. Double team was on, came away to Beater. Inside to Conklin. Got it back to Winchesky. Shot clock's at 1. Winchesky from downtown off the rim. Nice rebound effort there from Beater. Then Conklin dove after the basketball. On a play it went. Davies gets the ball back with 1:40 remaining.
I tell you what, this full court pressure has caused a few problems for Minot these last few minutes. Just the length of Kamara, the activity and the speed of York.
Three attempt on its way. That would be a big one. Off the mark from Beiswanger. Full court press is on. Schaefer trying to break it. Got it back to Winchesky. Now Shell. Shell with the lane, kicked it off to Conklin. Schaefer back to Shell. Up top, Wincheski takes some arrow to the basketball here with 10 on the shot clock. Now Wincheski finds Schaefer open. 3 lads, Schaefer off the rim. Conklin underneath, powers his way through, count the bucket and the foul for Logan Conklin. Ryan Family Dealerships replay. Conklin's presence inside Bryce make him an X-level player.
Just a brute strength and the physicality, finishing under contact there.
Conklin converts on the old-fashioned three-point play. Leads back to 12 for the Magi. It's a big play for the Magicians. Schaefer went up after it near the rim. They're going to say the Magi touched it last. Well, once again, you can join us tomorrow morning starting at 10:30 for the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show for the Dale Brown Classic live from the MSU Dome. Some of the top-ranked teams in Single A and Class B basketball take the stage on the PSP network. All of a sudden, we're down to a 30-second clock remaining in the ball game. The Magi are up by 12. Wincheski trying to get it to Conklin. Somehow they saved it. Came down to Schaefer. Schaefer up top. Beater downtown. Beater ribbed in and out. Then Schaefer got the rebound. Kicked it up to Shell. Shot clock's off. Minot's just going to dribble this one out. The flags have been raised. And the Magi complete the upset over the number 2 ranked team inside of North Dakota. I don't know that I would call it an instant classic, but that was a hell of a ball game tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, gritty effort by the Eagles there and Coach Manson. He did get some contributions off the bench and stuff, and like you said, to replace that production at such a high level that Mason Clavel is, you got to be happy. You got to be happy with that effort. Like I said, got it down to 8-9. Magi would just turn it on, get it back to double digits. Another win for the Magi, Nick.
8th of the year. 10-game winning streak for Minot High School. Davies suffers their first loss of the season to fall to 5-1. We're going to break it all down in the Planning Team Financial and Shots Crossroads postgame show. When we come back, we'll have the numbers, the highlights, and we'll hand out some awards for our move of the game and our player of the game coming your way on the Planning Team Financial and Shots Crossroads postgame show. It happens next right here on the PSP Network.
Together for Christmas, oh, let's be together this year. 'Cause it's been way too long, let's sing a happy song. Sharing the love and all that Christmas cheer. Oh, let's get together for Christmas. Let's get the whole gang together. Let's get together this year.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shaw's Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shaw's Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shaw's Crossroads.
It was billed and marketed as a marquee matchup. Number 2 against number 3 in the state. I don't think it disappointed in any sense of the word. Number 3, Minot, comes away with a 12-point victory over number 2, Davies. Welcome into our Planning Team Financial and Shots Crossroads post-game show. Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads bringing the post-game. Planning Team Financial, whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial is there to help clients work toward achieving financial freedom. Find out more at planningteam.com. Shots Crossroads, home to the delicious number 99. Team buses are always welcome at Shots Crossroads. I highly recommend the banana cream pie at Shots Crossroads. Had a slice of it last night with my family when we took in a little shots. You know what I did last night, Bryce?
What was that?
Hash browns with cheese, 2 eggs over easy, white toast. I got out of my comfort zone for the first time in 30-some years and had bacon instead of sausage patties. I think I might be hooked.
You a crispy bacon guy, or are you more of like a floppy bacon guy?
I just said extra bacon. I'm an extra bacon guy, and whatever they did was what needed to be done because, boy, let me tell you, it was good. Planning Team and Shots bring you the post-game wrap-up. We're going to have a conversation with our MVP of the game coming up in just a few moments after Minot takes a victory over the Davies Eagles. We'll take a quick step aside. We'll get our player of the game all situated up here in the booth. When we come back, we'll talk to him. More of the Planning Team Financial and Shots Crossroads post-game show to come when we come back to the Magic City Campus Gymnasium.
The trick to throwing well is knowing where you want the ball to go. Like how the local bankers at First Western Bank and Trust take the time to learn about you and recommend the banking services like online banking or personal loans that keep your goals on target.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
72-60. Minot gets the win over the Davies Eagles. Player of the game. Out of the locker room and ready to have a conversation with us up here in the PSP broadcast booth. A lot of effort tonight across the board for the Magi and for the Davies Eagles. We knew there would be. But our player of the game tonight, Mr. Eric Wincheski, not only gets our MVP brought to you by Sport Clips, but get the grit belt as well here tonight. That's got to mean something special coming from your team in a hard-fought game like that.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's a bunch of guys we could have picked, and I'm so proud of how we competed, and I'm so proud that it could have been any guy tonight.
Schaefer's 13 points out of the gate. 3 3-pointers for him. What's going through your mind when he's dropping 3 in a row to take a 25-5 lead against Fargo Davies, ranked 2 of the state?
Well, as simple as it is, it's get him the ball. Feed the hot hand. I mean, I think we did that. I mean, he was hitting shots, and we fed him, and he kept making them. So,
for the confidence level right now, you guys obviously are aware where these teams are standing and where you're standing and ranked in North Dakota. What does it do for your confidence knowing that you just took down a giant from the east side of North Dakota?
I think it shows like how resilient we are and how tough we can be, because they made a big run. They gave a run at us, and they're a good team, so I'm going to give credit to them. But I think it shows our toughness, and I just think it shows that we can beat anybody in the state if we work hard. It was a battle inside the trenches tonight. At one point, looked like you had the wind knocked out of you pretty hard there. Walk us through what happened on that play. Well, they were man pressing, so that doesn't help. And then I got gassed. I mean, it got hard to breathe. I was getting tired, so I needed a break. Job well done tonight, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Eric Wincheski, our MVP of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips. Job well done from him here tonight. As always, from the All-State, All-WDA selection. What an effort. What an effort around the board for the Magi here this evening on their home floor. Gutknecht, Hulberg, Bryce, Gutknecht on the planning team, Financial Shots Crossroads postgame show. What was the question you asked him before we went on? Dad didn't want to give you the timeout at that point? Is that what you had said to him?
Yeah, it seemed like I think I heard him say he needed about 30 seconds, and I was like, did you ever think about calling a timeout yourself? And he's like, yeah, I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Time to take a look at our game reset, brought to you by our friends at Ryan Family Dealerships. How about the start for the Magi here tonight? Logan Conklin with a slam time and a big time elevation of the energy of this place. That always gets this place rocking, doesn't it?
Yeah, it coming out to that kind of start, and then you add a Conklin throwdown like that, where you just hot from the start, the minute right from the tip, the Magi, like you said, 25-3, 23-3. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, you throw a slamma jamma, like you said, Nick, into that mix. This place was rocking early.
See the highlights of the first half. Minot had a 25-5 lead. Before anyone could say Charlie Brown in this ball game, and people were kind of looking around saying, what in the world are we witnessing here? Really have to credit Fargo Davies with the way that they battled back and that resiliency out of a veteran group of athletes that came back in this ball game. Really made it a dogfight midway through this ball game and all the way until the very end, really.
They really did. Kind of that timeout in that 12-minute kind of mark there by the Davies Eagles, by Mr. Manson. They were starting to force some turnovers, playing fast, playing with some speed, their kind of game. They started causing some havoc in this game.
How good is Camara inside on the defensive side? He had 4 total points. It all came in the first half for him. Sorry, he had 6 total. It all came in the first half, but defensively, my goodness, he's a freak inside the paint.
I tell you what, you're coming to the lane, you got to be aware of where he is at all times. And like you said, they put him on top of that zone 2. His wingspan and his length causing a lot of problems tonight for the Magi.
At the break, Minot High had a lead of 40-25. Into the second half we'd go, and you see that the score on your screen right here in the recap of this contest got down to single digits as Davies made it interesting for a while, but Minot High's Eric Wincheski with a big-time three-pointer. That one in our conversation for the move of the game.
Absolutely. It's like I said, every time you seem like they got under the single digits, Magi, sometimes you get caught in the moment looking around who wants to take the shot. Maybe you're thinking maybe someone might tighten up in that situation, but Eric Wincheski said, I'm the guy, give me the rock. Huge second half by him tonight.
gym was at max capacity here. There you see when Wincheski came out, wind knocked right on out of him. What a warrior. Not the biggest guy in the lineup for Minot High by any means, but Wincheski at 6'2" certainly has some dog in the fight. We saw some dog in the fight for Davies here in this ball game when it was all said and done. Final score 72-60. What do the numbers look like after this contest? Well, let's take a peek at them here, Bryce. The numbers presented by our friends at Ryan Family Dealerships as well. 9 scorers entered the book for Davies, 7 for Minot High School. The Magi had 9 3-pointers. A lot of that distribution came from Wincheski and from Schaefer. They had all of them except for 1 3-pointer from Peyton Shell. Minot High's free throw percentage tonight, a little bit ugly. I'm sure Dean Wincheski will have the boys shooting some hoops from the free throw line at practice this week. Davies Eagles with 7 for 10. Any of these numbers really stand off the paper for you here tonight?
Like you had said, maybe something to be critical from Coach Wincheski. Just that free throw line, 6 of 16. You find yourself in a close game, you gotta knock down those critical foul shots, in the second half especially.
There's the numbers presented by Ryan Family Dealerships. Individual numbers of this ball game. Let's start with the Davies Eagles. They were led in scoring by Jackson Beiswinger. 14 total for him, 10 of which came in the second half of basketball. 3 for Olhauser, 9 for York, 4 for Camara. I'm sorry, that's 6. I can't even read my own writing here, Bryce. New pen. 2 in the ball game for Cameron Miller, 16 for Hasbargen. He led the scoring for Davies tonight. I apologize. 2 for Williams, 5 for Caleb Scary, and 5 for Havelka. Davies drops to a record of 5-1 overall on the season. The Magi were led in scoring tonight by our MVP, Eric Wincheski, 23 for the young man. 17 for Logan Conklin, 10 for Peyton Shell, 3 for Carson Sessing. That was a big 3-pointer off the bench for the 5'11 junior. 2 for Landon Bedell, 4 for Braden Nelson, and 13 for Grayson Schaefer, all coming in the first half. The Magi improved to a record of 8-0 on the season. That will change the media poll just a bit after this showdown, as Minot High was ranked number 3. Davies was ranked number 2. How much stock do you put into this media poll? Is there much? Obviously, we're the guys that are voting on this, but at the same time, if you're playing in this showdown, are you too worried about what we see on our screen here?
I tell you what, as a coach, Nick, and I look at these during the fast pitch season, I don't really put a lot of stock in it, like you had said. I really don't, but hey, you know, when you're a target up there like Fargo North, number 1, you know, the couple teams behind them that are playing really well, like Davies' team that wasn't at full strength, and then you got a team like Minot with a big win tonight saying, hey, maybe we're receiving a few more votes. Maybe we want to be up at the number 1 spot.
Magi get the win over Davies. North still the team to beat. Can anyone touch the defending state champions? That's the question. Fun one here tonight. A few more orders of business in this ball game. We've already had our MVP of the showdown, brought to you by Sport Clips. I'll tell you about Sport Clips, though. They're home to the MVP haircut experience, where you can hop on into the online app. It's quick, it's convenient. They do a fantastic job. Sport Clips, where you can get the MVP haircut experience. Put this warm towel on your head. Little shoulder rub, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. Locations in Minot and Bismarck. Congratulations. Eric Wincheski led the ball game with 23 points. He was our MVP. Time for our move of the game, brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you with your moving and storage needs. They've got locations in Minot, Bismarck, Fargo, and Aberdeen. They're everywhere. They do a fantastic job at Jobbers Moving and Storage. Without further ado, here's tonight's move of the game. What do we have queued up in this one? Good question. Well, it's a play from Shell outside. This is going to be a rebound here for Conklin inside the lane, and Conklin cleans up the rebound and puts it in. That was big in my mind at that point because it was a 9-point contest late in the ball game. Minot High doesn't get the make here, and Conklin doesn't get the points. Davies goes down and scores. We've got a different turned to the tide late to this contest.
Absolutely. It seemed like the Magi had the answer all night long in that department when every time the Eagles looked like they maybe knock it down to maybe 6, maybe 4, Minot had the answer.
Congratulations, Logan Conklin and company, for the move of the game, brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you with your moving and storage needs. Well, you would think that after a matchup like this, we'd just go home and rest and get ready for bringing in the new year. I think not, my friend. Tomorrow, more basketball and a lot of it. The Dale Brown Classic, full day coverage starting at 11 a.m. 7 matchups. Class A and Class B basketball colliding at the MSU Dome. You've got the boys' championship round of the Mandad Holiday Tournament. Games will start at 2:30 tomorrow in the Mandad Holiday Classic. Games at 2:30, 4 o'clock, 5:40, and then 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. And then you'd think we'd be done for the week with that many. No, well, let's get to 25 this week. The Hoopster Classic, full day coverage from the Minot Auditorium. Owen Patterson will be on the call with yours truly, Nick Hulberg and Bryce Gutknecht from the Dome. And from the Odd, 2 full days of basketball coming your way here on the PSP Network. Looking forward to those matchups. Bryce, your closing thoughts after Minot High downs Fargo Davies by 12.
Yeah, like we had said, all broadcast, some people might look at this and say, hey, you know, what, Davies, they don't have Mason Claybowl. You know, they weren't at full strength and stuff, but nothing Minot High could do about that. You gotta go play the game. You can't worry about the roster that they're putting out that night and stuff. And they came in and they took care of business. Just from the get-go, I was super impressed with the start. Like I said, you had a few days off. You're wondering how they come out of the locker room and right off the tip, and they look terrific to start this game and sustained that lead and had an answer the entire time.
Next on the schedule for the Magi, on the 6th of January, there's a TBD, to be determined non-conference matchup. I'm not sure who will be in that showdown with Minot High. The schedule didn't have it either. After that, Dickinson comes to the Magic City on the 9th. Then Minot goes to Century on the 12th of January, followed by a matchup with Mandad as we get into the real heart of the season. For the Davies Eagles, they travel to Fargo South on Friday, January 5th for more conference play, followed by a matchup with Fargo North on January 9th. It's officially just getting good inside of Class AA basketball in our great state partner. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Job well done.
You bet. Just a great game. You know, just the atmosphere. It was so much fun. And like you said, we got a full slate for this weekend. We better rest up and be ready to go here. Got some Class B hoops tomorrow.
Let's get some Red Bulls, my friend. Big thanks to Owen Patterson on the floor tonight. Job well done, my friend. Andrew Woodbeck, you look tired, but you did a heck of a job tonight up on the main camera. We appreciate your efforts. As always, a big thank you to all those sponsors that make these games possible. Without them, frankly, we wouldn't be here. Thanks to Bart Manson for stopping by in our pregame. Great to have a conversation with him. As always, Dean Winchesky, his time tonight was appreciated, and his son Eric Winchesky's time as our MVP was appreciated tonight as well. Most of all, big thank you to all those military men and women out there, all of our veterans, all of our service personnel as well. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here at all. That's something that we need to say thank you over and over again for your commitment and sacrifice to our great country. God bless our veterans. God bless you all. God bless America. Final score one more time. Number 3 Minot 72. Number 2 Davies 60. It's an upset from the Magic City Campus Gymnasium. For my broadcast partner, Mr. Bryce Gutknecht, I'm Nick Hulberg signing off. We'll see you tomorrow at the MSU Dome for the Dale Brown Classic. Until then, please have a good night and God bless.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shaw's Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shaw's Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shaw's Crossroads.